Morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. Thank you for joining me for another edition of the Truth Conductor Show. Man, I messed up taking a nap today. I totally messed up because I can't go to sleep. Um, but I thought about this question. Since I've been talking about, you know, you can't deal with people on face value. But who are you? I mean, think about that. Who are you? Everybody has a definition of who they are. And most folk don't know the definition of who they are. What are you talking about, True Conductor? No, don't nobody know? No, seriously. Most folk don't know how to define themselves. They'll say, I'm just me. Well, what does that mean? That you're just you? What defines you? Like, I mean, I'm a loving, compassionate, caring, no nonsense father, husband, and grandfather. That's how I would describe myself. Okay? Everybody has a definition, and as you go on in life, that definition is going to change. But who are you? For real? Are you your job? Are you your possessions? Are you your profession? Who are you? And when you start asking people who they are, you'll be surprised at some of the answers that you receive. I got two people up in here, okay, who I'm sure that don't want to identify themselves, but who are you? Seriously, have you ever put a definition to who you are as a person? Have you ever tried to define yourself, who you are as a person? All right, because everybody has a definition of who they are. They might not want to accept it. They might not want to believe it. But who are you? That's just something. I mean, seriously, who are you? Who are you? And that's accountability. When you start asking a person who they are, now you're asking them to be accountable. All right? See, you putting the jokes aside now because you really can define yourself, and you're more than just you. Who are you? Oh, I'm just me. Well, what does that mean? Just you. How do you describe just you? What that look like? What does just you look like? And you'd be surprised how many people have never been asked that question. You're asking, man, who are you? Oh, I'm just me. Well, what that look like? Describe just you. What that look like? And see, and now you got to go inside. And the one thing that most people are uncomfortable with is looking at who they are, looking inside of them, because they're so used to judging things by the exterior of around them, but they don't ever want to look inside to see who they are. You got some people that are just good at lying. They're just good liars. They really are. They're good liars. You know, and I mean, I'm serious. They can come up with a lie just like that. They're good liars, good pretenders. You know, but who are you? And have you ever been asked that question? Who are you? And when you can define yourself, then you don't get easily insulted. See, people can come and call you a nigger, call you gay, and call you all these other things, and that don't faze you because you know who you are. Only the people that don't know who they are the ones that be in offense. Those are the ones that are easily to you know to rattle, to get rattled, because they don't know who they are. And I would suggest anybody, man, find out who you are. Be real with you. Define what you and see, when you start talking about who you are, man, look at your characteristics of what you will and will not tolerate. You know, because I told you, I'm a loving, caring, compassionate, no nonsense. That's one of the things that, I don't entertain is nonsense. I don't entertain nonsense. I don't have the patience for nonsense. Never have, and hope I never will be able to entertain a bunch of nonsense. Because then that's the kind of stuff that gets you off track. And I'm surprised nobody has responded. What? I got 8 people up in here? I'm surprised nobody has responded. But if I said, hey, I give you $100 if you tell me who you are, I'd be getting all kind of responses then. But see, this is accountability that I'm talking about. This is responsibility that I'm talking about. See, this is not funny, what I'm talking about. Mercedes, this is a troll. I guarantee you, I can't this is a troll. I guarantee you. Watch. This right here is a troll. Guarantee you. Guarantee it's a troll. Guarantee it's a troll. Guarantee you it's a troll. Let's see. Let me go look at this. Let me go look at this site. Let me go look at this site. See? Join November 21st, 2024. I told you that's you can, some of this stuff, man, you can just look at it and see, and you out of here. You out of here. See you later. Go get another profile. What's up? Watch Jesse Lee Peterson today. Oh man, Jesse Lee Peterson is a coon. That's all Jesse Lee Peterson is. Jesse Lee Peterson is a coon. It's somebody that's out clowning, trying to put down his own race because, that's the only way he gonna be accepted. Okay, now he don't speak no truth, man. Well, some of the stuff he might be, there's a little truth in what he say, but he's a coon because he can't talk. So the only way he can be accepted by white people is to, one, pretend that he love them, and all he's at them for is their money. And tell me I'm lying, chosen one. The way he talk probably makes your skin crawl. Now tell me I'm lying, chosen one. Tell me how he talk don't irritate you, chosen one. And be truthful. Tell me the truth. Okay? And see, and because he has that deficiency, he got to do something to be accepted. Jesse Lee Peterson is a coon. All he does is cooning for white people. That's all he do. And that's what they pay him for. Yeah, and I want him to interview me again. See, then I had to wear a mask because I had a dental issue. But I ain't got that now. But he ain't trying to interview me no more. Because I put my foot in his ass on his own show. I'll put my foot right up in his ass on his own show. So he don't want no part of this. He don't want no part of this. He's a coon. And let me give you the definition of cooning. Let me give you the definition of that. Cooning. Let me see. Is this a definition? Cooning is a derogatory term used to criticize or insult individuals, particularly those from marginalized racial or ethnic group who are perceived as acting in a way that reinforces negative stereotypes about their own group or panders to a dominant or prejudiced audience. And that's all he does. Okay? That's all he does. Okay? MC asked me, do I believe in reparations? No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't believe in reparations. I don't. And let me tell you why. Because white people are missing the greatest wealth transfer by not giving this group of black people reparations. Because if they gave this group of black people reparations, all they're going to do is give it back to them and be in debt. So I'd rather not have to pay income taxes for the next 25 years. If you want to build international... let me see who you are. Let me see who you are first. Okay. BP Slick say he's not pandering. He's pointing out problems and holding people accountable. How? He don't hold white people accountable. When have you seen Jesse Lee Peterson hold white people accountable? Like y'all ain't never done no wrong. Like y'all ain't never lied. You ain't never cheated. You've never mistreated anybody. When have you ever seen Jesse Lee Peterson hold white people accountable? Okay? I'm talking about this group of black folk, MC. Chosen One say, where would black people be if they hadn't sold their family members? What part of history you saw that at? Okay? Where you saw where black people sold their family members? What part of history is that? Give me a date and a time where black people... Bernie, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Thank you for joining me. Man, this is another one of the guys is one of my greatest supporters right here. Go to Africa. Man, see, this is the part that white people get kind of mixed up. See, they don't think that white people went to Africa lying. See, they think that white people went to Africa promising one thing and got people on the ship, and it turned out to be... You act like you didn't lie to get people to do this. Like you went over there and see, you'll lie about your own history. Oh, let me say that again. See, this is the one thing that I learned about white people. White people will lie about their own history. Like Columbus discovered America. You still pushing Columbia Columbus discovered America. Come on, man, get real. Get real. Get real. You'll lie about your own history, so how you gonna tell the truth about mine when you lie about your own? Just think about it. Think about it. That's right. It's their story. And see, and this is the thing that you'll notice about white folk. History only starts when they come on the scene. See, that's the thing about white people. History only starts when they come on the scene. They'll come in and into a community and gentrify it and rename it. And then that's when the history of that community will start, when they come on the scene. What they say America was founded in whenever in the 1700s, but we know black folk was here in 1619. Where's that history between 1619 and 1773 or whenever that shit George Washington, you lied about him cutting down the cherry tree. You're magnify and glorify your history. That's what white people gonna do, and that's their thing. that's their thing. Okay? That's their thing. Okay? That's their thing. I mean, and you can't blame them because they got the control. Oh, did I graduate from high school? Of course I did. Yes, I did. Over 50 years ago. Yeah, I graduated over 50 years ago. You want to know who I am? Go to dcblacktours.com. That's me. That's me. Okay? That's me. I'm go to dcblacktours.com. That's me. That's me. That's what I do. I'm a Black History Specialist of DC. That's what I do. That's what I do. Man, I just listen. See, y'all be acting like black folk ain't never done nothing. Black folk have never created nothing. And let me show you. Let me show you since we on this topic. Let me show you this. Let me show this to you. Let me show this to you. Hold on.
Some kind of way. Well, our world would suck without the amazing contributions of Black Americans. And if that gets them your feelings in some kind of way, well, I got facts on my side. I'll tell you what, come walk with me. Class is in session. This cell phone that you're watching me teach you on would be a worthless paperweight without Tennessee State University graduate Jesse Eugene Russell, the man who came up with the idea of digital wireless networks himself for AT&T. And trying to locate your favorite restaurant without GPS would be extremely difficult without Virginia State University alum Dr. Gladys West, who created such complex math that allowed GPS to be pinpoint accurate. You enjoy 3D, do you? Well, you might as well thank Miss Valerie Thomas, a Morgan State University graduate who came up with a way to translate data from satellites from 2D into 3D. Not only that, she helped to revolutionize farming worldwide with satellite imagery because she was the one that created the language that we can interpret. Tell you what, go ahead and flip on that light switch for me. That little filament you see burning in the middle that lights up your room, you can thank Lewis Latimer for that. He's also the one that drew Alexander Graham Bell's telephone design on the patent. Summer's coming. It's getting hot. When you go to adjust that AC thermostat of yours, you can thank David Crosswick for that. And when you go to work and flip on your computer, you might want to give a nod to Mark Dean, one of the most prolific geniuses at IBM. He gave us the color monitor, the first gigahertz processing chip, and he's listed on 3 of the 9 original patents for the IBM PC. Woo, dog, I'm just getting warmed up. And seeing that it's Memorial Day weekend, let's go ahead and give a shout out to George Crum, the man who's credited with giving us the American potato chip. And as you bend down to place your golf ball on that golf tee, let's go ahead and thank Harvard dentist George Grant. And the next time a yellow light keeps you from running an intersection and getting T-boned, let's give a shout out to Garrett Morgan, the man who came up with the middle part of the traffic light, who sold the invention for GE for $40,000 and became the first Black American man to own a car in Cleveland. And you can thank Otis Boykin, a Fisk University graduate, for creating and patenting the variable resistance resistor, this tiny little atom which made electronics impervious to temperature and atmospheric conditions, driving consumer prices down so we can all afford the fancy electronic gadgets we have. And if you know somebody that's had a pacemaker installed in their chest and saved their life, you can thank him for that too, because he invented the control module after losing his mom to heart disease. And not only that, he's one of the chief architects for guided missile systems. And where would we be without Dr. Percy Julian, the first person ever to synthesize human hormones from soybeans and yams, building a multi-million-dollar empire along the way? And with summer coming on, we gotta give a shout out to Dr. Lonnie Johnson, the man behind the Super Soaker water gun, and he's still with us. And if you're a gamer, let's go ahead and show some love to Jerry Lawson, the creator of the Fairchild Channel F video game system that uses programmable cartridges. And what this did is both revolutionize and kick off the video game console industry. And last, but certainly not least, is Frederick McKinley Jones, the man who came up with portable mechanical refrigeration systems. Now, you may not think this is important, but how else do you think frozen foods get to the stores? How else do you have frozen blood blankets? This man also came up with the first prototype snowmobile. He patented the first movie ticket dispensing machine and also created the first portable x-ray system among many of his 60 patents.
How old are you?
Now,
Our world would suck without the amazing contributions of Black.
I've been reading some of the comments. Let me go back and read some of the comments. Where we go? Cheeseburger. That's all true, even if cherry picked and skewed. Shouldn't be. Oh, it shouldn't be about color now. Shouldn't be about color. Why not? And put your marriage. See, black folk will always be the stepchild of America. Black people will always be the stepchild of America. Okay, we will always be that. Because we're not going to, see, you're not familiar with the American Colonization Act, which is responsible for sending black folk back to Africa to form Liberia in 1822. Okay? You're not familiar with that. And that's why go back is so offensive, because they're referring to the American Colonization Society right here in Washington, D.C. And what's the guy that wrote the national anthem? Damn, what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue because it got a bridge named after him. He was a founding member. And he also was a DA, Francis Scott Key. He was the district attorney of Washington, D.C. And he was a founding member of the American Colonization Society, which didn't think black people belonged in America. See, some of y'all probably have never heard that before. Okay, the American Colonization Society. They didn't think black folk belonged in D.C., and they sent them back to Africa. Okay? Of course I've heard of W.E. Du Bois. Of course I have. I told you, man, I'm a black history specialist. I don't know everything, but shit, when it comes to D.C., I can run circles around your ass with some black history. And our history is the only history that's dying on the vines because nobody wants to share it. And it's the last frontier of American tourism, black history, that's just dying on the vines. Okay? All right? So, yeah, black folk always got, see, listen, y'all. Listen. Let me show you how good black people were back then. The Underground Railroad, see, that was organized crime. The Underground Railroad was the most successful organized crime in the history of America. The Underground Railroad. And all the Underground Railroad was a code system. That's all it was a code system. And the codes were nicknames. See, that's what the Underground Railroad, and those black folk were so good that you had white people thinking that, yeah, I got grandkids. Okay, you had white people thinking there was an actual railroad underground. That's how good it was. They actually thought there was a railroad underground, and it was just a code system. And if you don't believe me, see, most black folk know each other by their nickname than they do their real name. The Underground Railroad. It's just that simple. Okay? And the show, you see, when the sky was clear, we followed the North Star. The North Star was freedom for us. But black folk are experts at landmarks. You ask any black person for some directions today, in them directions, they gonna put you a landmark. That's the Underground Railroad. See, that has been passed down and they don't even realize it. Okay? All right. North was freedom for us, man. We followed the North Star. Okay? And see, and right now, here's the problem. Because a lot of people don't want to know the truth. All right? A lot of people ain't interested in the truth. They're only interested in what they know. That's all they're interested in. You can't tell them no different. And when you try to educate them and show them, they don't want to believe that. Okay? Look, talking about, now move on from the first grade history. See, there was no, okay, if there was no such thing, let's Google it then. Let's Google it. Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad was a network of people and routes that helped enslaved African Americans escape to freedom in the United States during the 18th century and the Civil War. Okay? I didn't say nobody was taught. I said they were so good that they thought that there was an actual railroad underground. That's how good they tricked white people. White people actually thought that there was a railroad underground. No, they didn't. It was a code system. See, y'all don't want to know that. You don't want to know that. Because BP Slick, where you from? Where you from, BP Slick? Tell me where you from. Where you from? BP Slick, where you from? Man, let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. Hold on, let me show you something. Since you done open up this can of worms, let me see, can I find them papers? Let me see. Oh, matter of fact, let me go to my website. Let me go to my website. Hold on, because the comments are still there. Let me go to my website. I used to be behind Roger Stone and Paul Manafort and all these guys on trying to see if this is where the comments are. Okay, listen to this. Listen to this. Horrible name, horrible attempt at cheap advertising to hold a sign up at a news conference. Imagine if there was a company called DC White Tours or DC Asian Tours. Disgusting. Okay? All right? Chinese laid the track. Just seen your sign on BBC News and they looked up your website and was definitely okay. Saw your sign when Papadopoulos was sentenced. What a great ad. Okay. Let me see. The manifold trials are important and serious. You trying to hijack this with your silly sign is just asinine. Would you hold up a sign like that during Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech? Just stop it. Not all publicity is good. Okay? This guy, the guy with the sign at the Manafort trial, made your operation look cheap and opportunistic. I would never use your company. All because I'm getting, Jesse Lee Peterson don't know shit. Jesse Lee Peterson is a coon. Okay? All right? Okay? He's a coon. That's all he is a coon. Okay? Oh, I know what I can do. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. And that's what I'm trying to show you, man. Anytime you start trying to promote something black, look at the hate that you draw out. And I'm drawing the hate all because I'm walking behind people with my website, trying to be creative to get some business. Okay? And you hating. I'm trying to educate you, and you saying that I'm lying. I'm not telling the truth, and all I'm trying to do is educate you. But you don't want to see the truth. You ain't interested in the truth. See, in the Red Summer riots of 1819. Of 1919, 1918, 1919. That's when white men were going across the country attacking black communities all over the United States, the Red Summer riots. Okay? And DC is the one city during the Red Summer riots that had more white casualties than black. Okay, in the Red Summer riots, white men were hanging black soldiers in their uniforms. See, you don't want to talk about that history. You don't want to talk about that. The Red Summer riots. You don't want to talk about that. White men were actually hanging black soldiers in their uniforms. But that ain't taught. Chosen One said that's not true. Well, let's Google it. Let's Google it, Red Summer. A Chosen One, let's Google it. Let's Google it. Red Summer, that's what describes the Red Summer of 1919. An outbreak of racial violence known as the Red Summer occurred in 1919, an event that affected at least 26 cities across the United States. Racial tensions across the U.S. were exacerbated by the discharge of millions of military personnel back to their homes and domestic lives following the end of the war. Okay? What was the cause? The anti-black riots developed from a variety of post-World War World War I social tensions, generally related to the demobilization of both black and white members of the United States Armed Forces following World War I, an economic slump, and increased competition in jobs and housing market between ethnic Europeans. What was the inciting the turmoil came to a boil during the summer heat wave, the murder of 17-year-old Eugene Williams, an African-American teenager who was inadvertently had drifted into a white swimming area at a formerly segregated beach near 29th Street. Come on, man. Come on. See, we don't, there are a lot of, well, why don't you leave, chosen one? Because you the type of person where your children will end up with somebody black because you in so much denial. Okay? All right? And so you're going to tell me I'm reading what white people are saying, and you telling me it ain't true. You saying it ain't true, but yet you don't want to do the research. You don't want to research it yourself, but you can tell me it ain't true. And see, there are more. Here are the stories that we don't know. Okay. The BP Slick, the Railtails were the only unit not to lose a bomber. They were treated like shit. Coleman Young was a mechanic with them. That doesn't mean Coleman Young wasn't a piece of shit. Okay? Look at that. Look at the from Tuskegee Institute. Look at the Red Tails, how they were treated. Look at how they were treated. And they were better. And you had some white boys that didn't, if they didn't have the Red Tails around them, they didn't want to go. They didn't want to go. But that history is just dying on the vines. Because don't nobody want to share it. Nobody wants to share it. It's just that simple. What is it that you got? What is it that you're afraid of to learn some black history? Why are you so afraid? Because it might bust that damn bubble that you got, that you ain't as superior as you think you are. That's why you don't want to learn no black history. Because you're going to find out that white folk ain't as superior as they've been led to believe. See, that's why you don't want to learn none of our history. Hell, look at that. Look at what that hidden about them black ladies that got the men back from the moon. Look at them mathematicians that was in NASA. What was it called? Hidden. I think it was Hidden Numbers or something. Let me see what that movie was called. Excellent movie. Hidden Figures, I think, is what it was called. I think it was called Hidden Figures. Hold on. Hidden Figures. Yeah, that's what it was called, Hidden Figures. 3 brilliant African-American women at NASA, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, served as the brains behind one of the greatest operations in history. And you're going to tell me I'm lying. Okay? You're going to tell me I'm lying. So, I mean, well, see, here's what you got to realize, man. This is what what people don't want to come to the realization of. Okay, this is what this is the struggle that white people have. See, there are some things they just don't want to know about black folk, but yet they can't do without us. They cannot do. See, this is the thing that white people have all of this talk about, and a lot of them, these racists, man, they mamas and grandmamas sucked on black titties when they were children. Okay, all right, okay, they sucked on black titties when they were raised. You know, because if you had black women that was breastfeeding white kids before they breastfed their own. Okay? And that's just reality. And see, and here's the stories that there were a lot of white people that lost their lives on behalf of trying to free black, because see, it was against the law to help a black person escape to freedom. Oh, let me read this to you. Let me read this to you, so you can get a clearer understanding. Okay, this is the Fugitive Slave Act of 1793. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1793 was an act of the United States Congress to give effect to Fugitive Slave Clause of the U.S. Constitution, which was later superseded by the 13th Amendment, and also to give the effect of the Extradition Clause. The Constitution's Fugitive Slave Clause guaranteed a right for a slaveholder to recover an escaped slave. The subsequent act, an act representing fugitives from justice and persons escaping from the service of their masters, created the legal mechanism by which that could be accomplished. So basically, the Fugitive Slave Act of 1793 didn't demand that the police get involved with returning slaves. But the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 was the doozy. Okay? All right? That was the doozy. See, let me show you the difference between the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. Hold on. Okay. See, this was known as the Bloodhound. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 was known as the Bloodhound. Okay, hey, truth conductor. The truth transcends time. Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. The Fugitive Slave Act was a law passed by the 31st United States Congress on September 18th, 1850, as part of the compromise of 1850 between Southern interests in slavery and Northern free soilers. Okay? The act was one of the most controversial elements of the 1850 compromise and heightened Northern fears of a slave power conspiracy. It required that all escaped slaves upon capture be turned to the enslaver, and that officials and citizens of free states had to cooperate. Okay? Had to cooperate. Now, listen to this. The act contributed to the growing polarization of the country over the issue of slavery. It was one of the factors that led to the American Civil War. Let me see. The earlier Fugitive Slave Act of 1793 was a federal law that was written with the intent to enforce Article 4, Section 2, Clause 3 of the United States Constitution, which required the return of escaped slaves. It sought to force the authorities in free states to return fugitive slaves of enslavement to their masters. Many free states wanted to disregard the Fugitive Slave Act. Some jurisdictions passed personal liberty laws mandating a jury trial before alleged fugitive slaves could be moved. Others forbade the use of local jails or the assistance of state officials in arresting or returning alleged fugitive slaves. In some cases, juries refused to convict individuals who had been indicted under the federal law. Okay, but 1850 changed all of that. Okay, all right. Let me get to the 1850. In response to the weakening of the original Fugitive Slave Act, Democratic Senator James M. Mason of Virginia drafted the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, which penalized officials who did not arrest someone allegedly escaping from slavery and made them liable to a fine of $1,000. Law enforcement officials everywhere were required to arrest people, suspected of escaping enslavement on as little as a claimant's sworn testimony of ownership. Habeas corpus was declared irrelevant. See, then somebody could come up and say, I own you. And you had no rights. You couldn't even defend yourself. Okay? They could take your papers, sell you into slavery, and there was nothing that you could do about it. This is under the 1850 Fugitive Slave Act. See, this is why listen, it says this, listen to this. Law enforcement officials everywhere were required to arrest people suspected of escaping enslavement on as little as a claimant's sworn testimony. And this is why today, Black people are the only ones in America that have to justify why they are where they are. You can say what you want. In 2024, Black folk are the only people that's got to justify what you're doing. Who you know here? Why you here? We had sundown towns in America. And right today in 2024, you still got people asking Black folk, who you know here? Why are you here? Why are you in my community? 1850 Fugitive Slave Act. That's why. See, because that mentality has passed down from generation to generation unchecked. Unchecked. You can say what you want. I just saw on X where a Chinese man was talking about, this is no niggers are allowed here. Okay? All right? So come on, man. Now let him show his ignorance. Let him show his ignorance. Listen, the commissioner before whom the fugitive from slavery was brought for hearing, no jury was permitted. The alleged refuge from enslavement could not testify, was compensated $10. Judges was making money off this. Police officers was making money off this. Listen, if he found that the individual was proven a fugitive, and only $5 if he determined the proof to be insufficient. In addition, any person aiding a fugitive by providing food or shelter was subject to up to 6 months imprisonment or $1,000 fine. Officers who captured a fugitive slave were entitled to a bonus or promotion for their work. Enslavers needed only to apply an affidavit to a federal marshal to capture a fugitive from slavery. Since suspected enslaved person was not eligible for a trial, the law resulted in the kidnapping and conscription of free blacks into slavery, as purported fugitive slaves had no rights in court and could not defend themselves against accusations. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. And you're going to come up here talking, Jesse Lee Peterson, talking that bullshit. Man, get the fuck up out of here. I'm reading it to you. I'm reading it to you. And you still don't want to believe it. You still don't want to believe it. See, so you didn't have no say-so, man. Somebody could walk up and take your papers and say, I own you, and you had no rights. You had no rights. You couldn't even defend yourself. And you want to talk this bullshit about, America. Okay? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about. And see, we don't want to talk about this. We don't want to put this on the table. See, listen. It's the mindsets that people don't want to address. And it's the 1850 fugitive mindset that has been passed down from generation to generation in the white community that nobody has ever checked. Because of that, we have to justify in 2024 why we are where we are in America. That's why. The 1850 Fugitive Slave Act. You see it all the time. You see it all the time where, they be trying to make deliveries. Who you know in the community? What you doing here? Walking through the community. See, white people can walk through our community with little to no resistance. Today, white people can walk through the black community with little to no resistance. Let a black person walk through a white community. Who you know here? What you doing in here? Why you here? Who you know? That's reality. That's reality. Okay? Be sick talking about no, we can't. Shit. Bullshit. White people can walk anywhere they want to. Okay? Your neighbor is black in a $750,000 house, and you probably jealous. Man, I just at 71. At 71, I just got profiled in Whole Foods. I just got profiled in Whole Foods. I know y'all scared, man. I know y'all scared. See, because, white women ain't making no more babies like they used to. White women ain't making babies like they used to. Okay? They ain't making no babies like they used to. Okay? So the white race is actually dying out. And because so many white men are turning to each other, that white woman got to look to another race if she want to be with a man, because most of the white men are turning to each other. Okay? I mean, that's just facts. That's just facts. White men are turning to each other. That white woman, she on her own now. She on her own. She got to go at another race because she can't find a white man in her own race, because most of them are gay. They loving each other. Okay? they loving each other. That's why the white community is dying. White men are turning to each other. They ain't trying to get with no white woman. And that white woman got to go to another race. And now the white race is diluted. Okay? And I ain't delusional. I ain't delusional at all. Ain't nothing delusional about me. Okay? Yeah, they got gay black folk. But we ain't talking about them. Shit. We talking about white folk. It's white folk that's under threat. Matter of fact, let me see. Hold on a second. Because you can ask Google anything. Listen, some changes may be due to change in self-identification patterns rather than demographic change. White non-Hispanic white Americans under 18 in the U.S. are already a minority as of 2020. It is projected that non-Hispanic whites overall will become a minority within the U.S. by 2045. By 2045, white people gonna be the minority. Google it. Google it. Google it if you think I'm lying. Google it. Here it is right here. There it is right there. So you won't think I'm lying. Okay? So you don't think I'm lying. So you won't think I'm lying. You Google everything else. See, that's the problem I hate about you little dick motherfuckers up in here. You white boys with your little dicks. See, when you want shit that to go your way, you'll Google it. But when it ain't going your way, then you want to justify it. See, that's that little dick energy. Man, get that little dick energy up out of here. Okay? I'm not the problem. I ain't the problem. I am not the problem. Okay? Let me see who they say will be the majority. It says today, after whites, the Hispanic population is the next biggest group of 18% of the U.S., followed by blacks and Asians. What will the country look like racially in 2030? Whites will have dropped to 55.8% of the population, and Hispanics will have grown to 21% of the population. Oh, she's in the Philippines. That's where my wife is in the Philippines. She's Filipino. Yeah, she's in the Philippines. Thank you for asking. There she is right there. There she is right there. She in the Philippines. That's her. Right. That's her right there. That's her. Right over my head. I go to sleep with her right over my head. Oh, black woman taught me how to love my wife. That's who taught me how to love my wife, a black woman. That's who taught me how to love my wife, a black woman. Now what? now what? Now what? now what? Where your wife? Where's your wife? Where your wife? Okay, where your wife? Man, listen, I told y'all. This is how I met my wife. 10 years ago, I wasn't trying to work on. I've been not working on Saturdays. I've been at that for a long time. And this particular Saturday, I was determined to not work, and I couldn't get no rest. And I had this hotel that I used to hang out and get business. And I said, man, let me get up and go down to this hotel since I can't get no rest and see what's going on. As soon as I was walking to the door, the manager of the hotel was talking to my wife, and he looked up and saw me and said, that's him. And I threw my hands up and say, whatever it is, I didn't do it. And she had twisted a guy's arm to do a job for her. And when she told me what he had agreed to, I said, I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't help you. And she balled up her fist. And I said, girl, that's my grandmama's fist. I'm gonna marry you. That's how I met my wife. That's how I met my wife. And 4 years later, we got married. That's how I met my wife. That's exactly how I met my wife. And we've been married 5 years. And it's been 5 years since I seen her, because she's still in the Philippines, waiting for me to come get her. She's sitting there waiting for me to come get her. That's it. For real. That's how I met my wife, man. So I just put my head down, trying to make one of my ideas work. That's all I do, to make her proud. Okay? Well, oh, I don't live on the down low, man. I like Punani. I like Punani. Shithole is not my pleasure palace. Whether it be a man or a woman, shithole ain't my pleasure palace. My dick too good to be wasting it in a shithole. My dick is too good to be wasting in a shithole. I like Punani. that's just it in a nutshell. You got good dick, why waste it on a shithole? I mean, think about that. You got some good dick, why you gonna waste it on a shithole? Okay? All right? I mean, so, you can say what you want to say. What do you mean, am I David? I don't understand that question. And I don't understand. Let's all rally behind our love for Poonan. But see, a lot of people, that's your pleasure, man. If that's your pleasure, I can't knock you for your pleasure. That ain't my pleasure. A shithole ain't my pleasure. Whether it's on a man or woman, it ain't my pleasure. That's not my pleasure. If that's your pleasure, that's on you. You got to deal with that shit, not me. I want Pooh Nanny. Give me some Pooh Nanny. That's all I want. Okay? That's all I want. Pooh Nanny, man. Pooh Nanny. And see, with me and my wife being apart, what keeps me straight is this. I don't want to get out and do something spiritually that'll stop my wife from getting in the country as punishment from God. See, that's why I ain't worried about temptation. Because I ain't doing shit, man. That's gonna cause me spiritually for my wife not to get up in here. I ain't doing that. You crazy. I can't live. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. If I get out here and do something spiritually and my wife can't, for some reason, can't get back in this country. Oh no. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. You know, I ain't making that mistake. I'm too old for that. Maybe if I was younger, okay? Maybe if I was younger, I might have rolled the dice. But at this age, I ain't rolling the dice. Because I know what I got. I know what I got. Straight up. Oh, no. Well, see, when my wife first came, her visa expired. This is when Trump was in office. And it was expensive, and we couldn't afford it. So me being a nice guy, baby, go on back to the Philippines, I come get you. But we ain't see the pandemic coming. Okay? And now for me to get in the country, I got to lie. And I ain't telling no lie to get my wife up in here. I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm not lying. I could lie and get in here tomorrow. But them lies gonna catch up with me. And then she gonna have to go. So, no, I ain't doing that. Let me just wait till I can do it the right way. I can wait. Oh, yeah, I can go to the Philippines. Absolutely. I'm going. But I want to have my act together when I do go. I don't want to go in this state. Okay? I don't want to go like this. So, you know, that's why I put my head down and just make one of these ideas work. Because I can go to her with, look, baby, look what I got working. She'll, whatever she upset, if she is, it'll change her mind. Money answers all things, buddy. Oh, wait a minute. Let me read that to you so you won't think I'm making that up. Let me read that to you so you won't think I'm making that up. Okay? I don't want y'all to think I'm making that up. Let me read that to you. Let me read it to you. This is Ecclesiastes 10:19. And it says, a feast is made for laughter, wine makes merry, but money answers everything. It didn't say the love of money. It says, listen, Ecclesiastes 10:19, look it up yourself. A feast is made for laughter, and wine makes merry, but money answers everything. Shit. That's all it's gonna take is some money, buddy. And that's the answer. Okay? Okay? So that's it. That's it. But see, a lot of people don't want to make the sacrifice. Because it ain't easy, man. This ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. Okay? It ain't easy. You know, and there are days I'd be like, man, why am I going through this? But I can't give up. I done came too far. Okay? Oh, I ain't heard no news yet. No, that's my second wife. That's my second wife. And my first wife, ex-wife, we still friends. We friends. I can call her up today. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? I can call up today. Sure could. We friends. No bitterness, none of that. None of that. I've been blessed. I've been blessed. Yes, I have. I've been blessed. And I've had some wonderful women in my life. Wonderful. Just was too young to appreciate it. That's all. I had wonderful women in my life, but I was just too young. I wasn't mature. Okay, I don't have no baby mama drama. Nope, no, man. I couldn't tell you if my kid's mama dead or alive. I ain't seen her in. My kids are now 41 and 40. Last time I saw my kids' mama, they was 2 and 3. She got out, she stayed out, and she ain't no stranger in my house. I told y'all, she born and raised in New York City, in the Bronx. And she got a grandson that's setting Broadway on fire and don't even know it. Don't even know it. My kid's mama got a grandson that's setting Broadway on fire as a musician and don't even know it. Don't even know it. And he told me he got a DC number and he got a New York number for his business. And they gave him a Bronx number. He was like, Granddaddy, I wanted to get Manhattan. I said, boy, your grandmama was born and raised in the Bronx. Okay? Trumpet. He plays the trumpet. Hell of a trumpet player. Hell of a trumpet player. Hell of a trumpet player. Graduate of Michigan State University. Hell of a trumpet player. Yes, indeed. So, and I'm saying that because a lot of the stuff that you're going through, man, if you sit down and count your blessing, God has really blessed you. But a lot of people get caught up in what they're going through and what's happening to them and don't count their blessings, man. They don't have no gratitude. And people say, well, how come you what do you mean, what are my thoughts on Robert E. Lee? What do you mean? What are my thoughts? Yeah, my son graduated from Michigan State. I don't know if my kid's mama, I don't know if she's dead or alive. I couldn't tell you. I told you they 41 and 40, so they was 2 and 3. So that's almost going on 40 years, man, since I seen her. I couldn't tell you if she dead or alive to this day. I couldn't tell you. And I ain't hard to find. I'm not hard to find. When I found out that she wasn't interested in being in their life, man, I just poured all the love I had in their cup. To try to make up. And my mama, if it wasn't for my mom and my stepdad, I wouldn't have made it with them. So, they were mine. So I just did what I did. And DC Public Schools did well by my children because I was walking them halls. My daughter went to Norway and my son went to Brazil through DC Public Schools. So I don't have no oh, I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem with you either. If I did, you'd have been blocked. If I had a problem with you, buddy, you would have been blocked. It's just that simple. I'd have blocked you. So I don't have no problem. Oh, no. That was I wasn't married to my kid's mom. We weren't married. No, we were not married. I just fell for a pretty face. I fell for a pretty face, boy. That pretty face just bam. It turned out to be a nightmare. That's why I tell women, boy, it ain't. When a woman come and talking that talk to me, baby, what you got that I won't, need, can't get, or ain't never had at this age? So you come talking. What is it that you got that I won't, need, can't get, or ain't never had? See, come on, man. At this age, what can you bring me that's not in one of them categories? And I'm supposed to be impressed? Okay, I'm supposed to. Any success that I have, that one right there gonna experience it first. She gonna experience it first before a stranger. Okay. Well. BP, they also are banning a lot of Black history from being taught in schools. See, this anti-woke movement is anti-Black. See, that's what that's all about. That anti-woke movement is anti-Black. That's why you see that um, the DEI, diversity programs, they getting rid of, because they don't think that they should have them, and that's just anti-Black. And you can look at some of the people that President Trump done picked on his cabinet ain't qualified. That boy Cash Patel, man, I feel sorry for him. I really do. Because they're going to drive him crazy. He's already, every time you see him, he always doing that. And see, and I'm old school. I've been in DC 50 years. And whenever you see somebody always doing that, man, they snort a lot of cocaine when they can't stop sniffing. And you can listen to him talk. He always sniffing. And who is he gonna hire? You talking about you gonna dismantle even Elon Musk? Talking about they gonna dismantle. Well, who you gonna hire to do the job? You gonna have to hire somebody that know what they doing, that know the system. You don't know the system. You don't know the ropes. So who you gonna hire? You gonna have to trust somebody. And Cash Patel is gonna have to trust somebody in the FBI. And it's the ones that have access to you that can hurt you. Not the person that's out in the field. It's the one closest to you. That's the one that's gonna hurt you. And you ain't thinking about that. Okay? So, but that's still, a day ain't gonna teach. He ain't gonna learn shit in a day. And see, and let me tell y'all something. I've been in DC, it'll be 50 years next year. All right? And the one thing I've discovered, that these people here, man, they ain't gonna do no work, but they sure know how to keep a job. They know how to keep a job. And this is gonna be harder than they think it's gonna be. And that guy Cash Patel, he better get him a food taster. You better have somebody tasting your food. You better, because you might end up getting sick. It's just that simple. I don't know who that is. What kind of that's Chinese or Japanese or whatever it is. Okay, but that's the truth. You're gonna have to trust somebody. Okay, you're gonna have to trust somebody, because you can't do it all on your own. You're not on the wrong train. You're on the wrong track. Well, maybe. Okay? Maybe. But you up in here. If I'm on the wrong track, goddamn, hey, you going with me? Okay, sure. If you want to become my friend, man, go ahead. Subscribe. I ain't got no problem with it. Okay? All right? Subscribe. But anyway, man, I see. I didn't intend to get off on. Thank you, thank you. Um, I didn't intend to get off on all of this. You know, I started out with asking China. Oh, this is from Korea. Oh, that's China. That's China's flag. Or South Korea one. Uh, um, you know, I started out with, who are you? And see, a lot of people don't know who they are. Japan. Man, I play y'all Japan. I play y'all national anthem a lot in front of the White House. I do. I do. Um, Play it a lot, man. Matter of fact, let me see here. So you won't think I'm lying to you. I got Japan. I know I played Japan. Cause I see them a lot down in front of the White House. I thought I had played it recently, but maybe I didn't. Or maybe I'm just not recognizing it. Oh, that's why. I'm looking for the wrong thing. Okay. Let me go back and look at this again. I was looking for the flag. I know I played it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. See? This was Sunday. Sunday. There it is. Sunday. I played your national anthem of Japan. Sunday. Yep. Anyway, man, thank y'all. I guess I can now go to sleep because it's been. No, I'm not Japanese. No, I'm not. No, I just try to. Make everybody feel welcome in front of the White House by playing their national anthem. Most of them don't appreciate it, but you know, that's on them. but I enjoy it. You know, I just enjoy trying to, get people to interact with each other so we can start talking to one another, stop being afraid of one another. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay? All right, man. I see y'all later. I'm out of here.